I've seen lame people walking, crooked backs come straight, skin diseases fall off bodies within 24 hours. We prayed for a 17-year-old who was left in a hospital bed in Australia to die in a hospital. We prayed. Next morning, he's doing cartwheels down the hallways of the hospital with the doctor's jaws on the floor. I've seen miracles. Often, I don't see them. Rarely, I see them. But greater than a physical miracle is the miracle of being saved, is the miracle of knowing him. Why? Because he lives. Jesus is alive. He's not dead. And he has a real hope for you and me if you trust him. Trust your life into his hands, and he will not fail. I don't know what redemptive stories you've ever heard in your life, but when I'm in front of 650 slaves in India in 2008 who've been kidnapped at age 10, bought for $700 as a slave, sometimes actually sold by their own parents, what are you going to tell them? Reincarnation, better luck next time? Be positive? There is one religion that I'll never talk about because actually that one religion says, well, you just become your own God and whatever you believe it, that's what happens. That's so silly. You can't tell a slave that. Try. There are 3 other major religions that I could not talk to them about because they were a woman first, and second, they're a slave. There are 3 major, actual big worldwide religions that actually already condemn them to no redemption, no hope because they're a slave. So what am I going to tell them? Be an atheist? How does that help? You see, I can't be an atheist. I can't. I've seen way too much. When you see a demon, you can't be an atheist anymore. And if you don't believe that anything's happening on this earth that science cannot explain, go to a rural developing country where they have no hospitals and all they have are witch doctors. They see supernatural things every single week. There is more to this life than meets the eye. What is your hope? These girls who were once slaves went to a Jesus camp, rehabilitation, found a job, saved up money, didn't save up for a car or for a house. They went back to the brothels, the very house that they were once slaves in, and actually went up to their former masters and say, you don't remember me, but you were once my master. And I've come here to tell you that I love you and I forgive you with the love of Jesus Christ. I'm praying for you, and I've come here to wash your feet. And after they're done, here's $700. I'm taking another slave. They go through the rehab, they get a job, they together save up money, they go back and free another one, and another one, and another one. I've seen 3 cycles of this with my own eyes. And I want you to know, hope is real when your hope is in Jesus Christ. Later that night, we saw a woman on the floor, very frail, very old. She hadn't walked for 4.5 years. We prayed for her. That night, she walked. Why do I tell you this story? Because that woman who had not walked for 4.5 years, and after we prayed for her, I didn't even lay hands on her. She walked for the very first time after 4.5 years of being on the floor, carried everywhere. My friend Dave Raj from Teen Challenge Mumbai, who's single-handedly, by the grace of God, rescued 350 slaves. He's an Indian man, and he looked pale, and it's hard for an Indian man to look pale. Did you get that? He said, Nick, I can't believe it. I said, what? He said, that old woman wasn't just any old woman. The one who walked, he said, yes. I said, who was she? That old woman who walked tonight miraculously was the very woman who claimed that block of land, 10 acres in the city red light district. She's the one who started human trafficking in this city 45 years ago. She was an evil woman, responsible for 40,000 girls plus. And God still touched her, healed her. 2 weeks later, she gave her life to Jesus. 3 years later, human trafficking became illegal in India in 2011. And guess what happened? Dave Raj got permission to bulldoze the entire city block and build a church right in the heart of Mumbai. going to now invite Alyssa Hicks to the stage. She's someone who has not seen the light of day, nor the color of a rose. She, though, sees Jesus, and it's because he lives that Alyssa, who can't see, has hope, and a limbless conductor conducts an orchestra with his shoulders. Because Jesus lives is why I have hope. If you haven't found hope yet, he's knocking at your door. Let him in. Ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa Hicks, because he lives.
Friends, I'm so glad that you came. Do you feel energized? Good.